You know, this just a real nigga shit, your real nigga story, you know?
It's Kayden here. Today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts about how to treat a trans person. So my first kind of like do's and don'ts is pretty simple. Just treat them like a human being. Just be polite to them, and you know, if you're not sure about someone when you meet them, if you're not sure about what gender they are, just ask them, you know, or just use kind of gender neutral pronouns. If you're referring to someone in a conversation and you're not sure what pronoun they are, just refer to them as they. Just, you know, how are they, how are they doing, what are they up to, you know, and then just use the name. And you'll kind of, if you call someone by their wrong pronoun, then they will kind of correct you most of the time. I know I correct people. I feel a bit weird about correcting people at first, but I do correct people. Okay, so some do's and don'ts. When finding out that someone is trans, don't then assume that you can ask them about their personal life, i.e. sex life, operations, etc, etc. If they want to talk about it, they'll talk about it. If they don't, they don't. And if you're close to them, then that's okay, if you're like the best friend or whatever. But don't just go prying if you just met someone and you find out they're trans. For me, don't go calling me pretty. Like, I'm a pretty guy anyway, you know, I'm a bit of a pretty boy, you know, and that's cool, you know. Keep it simple, you know, like, if it's a guy, be like, you answer. If it's a girl, say she's pretty, you know. But try to bear in mind their new name choice. So when I went from my birth name to Kayden, people made a conscious effort of calling me Kayden. And for those people that do struggle, they call me Christopher because that's closer to my birth name, or just Chris in general. But Christopher or Kayden is pretty much the names that I answer to. And if anyone else calls me by another name, I will completely ignore them until they get it right, unless they don't know unless they don't know that I have changed my name. Don't say to somebody, oh well, why don't you just be a lesbian? Why can't you just be a lesbian? Don't say that, that's rude. Oh, so you're just a dyke. No, I'm not a dyke, I'm a dude. I'm a male. It's completely different. So bear that in mind. If you are kind of conscious that someone is trans, try not to point out the things that they kind of don't want to see about themselves, and try not to talk about their hips or whatever. Like, don't say to somebody, oh, you have a beautiful feminine body. Like, the amount of fucking people that have been, oh, you've got a beautiful feminine body, or you have amazing tits, so why would you want to cut them off? It's bullshit. I don't want them, so that's why. Try to refer to someone's chest as their chest. Don't say boobs or anything. Just say chest or pecs. If you change, you know, the feminine context from boobs and bosom or whatever to chest and pecs, then I feel like that makes someone feel a bit more comfortable. And alternatively, the opposite way around for you know, all the girls and stuff. I think that, you know, you should be aware of the difference between what you would say to a woman and what you say to a guy. You know, like over here in England, we kind of call, like, you know, girls, you know, lass, horn, chick, things like that. You know, guys are your mate, buddy, fella, lad. So when people refer to me as hun, I'm just like, no, I don't like it. So, and don't assume because someone comes out as trans that they're automatically going to start liking a different gender. I came out as trans and people kept thinking that I was going to be a gay man. On a side note though, guys, I got a very, very exciting letter through today from my doctor. And this basically states that the treatment for my hormones was supposed to be funded by the government, by the NHS system that we have over here. And I got a letter through today, which I'm guessing is a forwarded letter from my doctor, saying that I will not be needing any funding and that I can go ahead with the process to start any treatment that I needed from the gender identity clinic. So I'm very excited because this means that I am only 2 steps away from getting my T, which is ecstatic for me. I'm very, very excited, and I can't stop looking at this letter. I actually can't believe that it's actually come through like this, because it's just weird, and I'm just so excited and overwhelmed. I know that my therapist watches my videos, and I would just like to say thank you to her for pushing for me to get my tea as soon as possible, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be kind of where I am now. She did push for me to get my tea by hassling my doctors constantly and, you know, keeping my spirits high. So I would just like to say thank you to Dana if you're watching. In conclusion, call people by their gender that they wish to be assigned by, and I hope that this kind of clarifies it for a bunch of straight people too. So this is Kay. I'm out. I'll see you next week. Tune in for the rest of the guys for the rest of the week. And if you have any requests for us to do in the week, please don't hesitate to message us, because topics are hard to think of, and we would love to hear what you want to know and what you want to hear. So don't be afraid to message us, comment. We read all of our comments. We reply to all our messages.
Serve it to the dope.